Hey guys, Ivan here at ivanmana.com, and in this video I want to show you how to do remarketing, or retargeting as Facebook calls it, for your ClickBank products on Facebook ads. As you know, retargeting is an excellent way to reach out and show your ads to people that might not have converted the first time, because studies show that over 90% of people don't buy their first time around, and it takes them 5 to 10 times of seeing your brand or your ads before they finally convert. Now, to make this work, you do have to have a landing page. You absolutely have to have at least a landing page, if not for an optional thank you page. So if you're completely new, you have no idea what's going on, I advise you to see my previous video where I show you how to promote ClickBank products on Facebook ads. In that video, we go through step by step. I show you how to create a landing page, how to create Facebook ads, how to set up tracking, all that fun stuff. Because in this video, I'm going to assume you already have your Facebook account, your landing page, and so on. But you have to have a landing page at least. So in this video, we're going to set up the Facebook pixel on our website, or our landing page and our thank you page. We're going to create Facebook audiences, and then we're going to finally create our Facebook campaigns targeted to these specific audiences. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoy these types of tutorials and this type of ClickBank related content. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell icon so you get notified when I release more videos just like this. That being said, let's get straight into it. The first thing we have to do is set up the Facebook pixel throughout our landing page and thank you page. So the landing page we created last time, if you recall, with Facebook ads was this one. It was an easy battery reconditioning Ted's ClickBank offer, right? And so this is our landing page. This is our thank you page. So what we're going to do is we have to add the Facebook pixel code here. So let's head over into our Facebook account, Business Manager account. Now, another thing is, I assume that you already have a Facebook for Business account. I strongly suggest you get that. I got a few comments saying, hey, my interface looks different than yours. That's probably because you're doing Facebook ads through your personal account. I really don't suggest that. So head over to business.facebook.com and make sure that you guys have a business for Facebook account. There are multiple benefits associated with it. I'm not going to go over that in this video. I covered that in other videos, but just make sure to go to business.facebook.com and create your Facebook ads account through there. So once you do that, the first page you'll see will look something like this. You might or might not see pages. These are pages we created for other tutorial videos. But what you're going to want to do is click on Business Settings. And the first thing we have to do is create the Facebook pixel and attach it to our account. So you're going to go down here, click on Data Sources, and click on Pixels right over here. And I already have a bunch of pixels, but that's okay. We'll create another one. So you can click on Add here. And we're going to give a name for our pixel here. So let's see, what do we want to call it? Let's say let's say ClickBank Remarketing, for example. So we'll click Continue. And so we just created a general pixel, but what we have to do now is we have to integrate this pixel throughout our site, and we have to attach it to our account, right? So what we can do is we can continue managing the business, or we can set up the pixel now. Let's continue managing business because there are a few more things we have to do here before we actually add the pixel to our site. So I'm going to click on Continue Managing Business. And what we have to do here is we have to add people first to this pixel. So I'm going to check myself here because I want to give myself access to actually have control of this pixel. So we're going to click Done here. Next, we have to attach this to an actual Facebook ad account. So again, I assume you already have an ad account. So we're going to click on Add Assets. We're going to select the ad account that we have, in this case, just the one, but you could have more if you have a business for Facebook account. And that is it. Okay, so now we have connected this pixel to our account and to you, like to the admin of the account. So now what we can do is we can head over to Business Tools. We can go click on Events Manager, and now we can find this pixel. It should already be attached, and we need to take the pixel code and add it on our pages. So let's find our pixel, ClickBank Remarketing, and we're going to click on Continue Pixel Setup. We can install the code manually. I'm showing you what to do here. If you are using, for example, Google Tag Manager or any one of these partners, you can select them and Facebook guides you with what to do. So I'm going to click Close because we're going to do the manual setup. So I'm going to click here. And now what we're going to do is copy this base code on our site. We're going to add it. It tells you here just above the head tag. So we're going to copy the code. Let's go back to our landing page here. Let's open JavaScript, add new JavaScript, and we're going to paste it here. We will indicate we want it in the head, and let's just say this is the Facebook pixel, let's say Facebook base pixel. Okay, just because sometimes we could have event pixels, and we'll click done, and we'll click save, and we will publish. And let's head over to our thank you page, and we're going to do the exact same. So we'll click here. As you saw, we had a bunch of other codes from other videos and other networks that we worked with. But we're going to select head here. We'll say Facebook. Let's say Facebook base pixel. If you want a more detailed tutorial on how to create a landing page, I cover that in my Unbounce video where I show you how to create a 53%, almost a 53% conversion rate landing page from scratch. We start completely from nothing, no template. So check that video out. I'll put the link in the description. But we're going to save this. We're going to publish that. Make sure all this is published, okay? So we are good to go. So this should update as soon as we start sending traffic, okay? So you might not see it here. We can click next. We can turn on advanced matching, leave this on. What this will do is basically if you're asking for somebody's name, somebody's email, somebody's gender on your landing page, which we're not, we're just asking for the name and email, Facebook will try to match that information with their database. And they're going to try, once they get a collection of people, they're going to try to give you an idea using audience insights of what your audience is about, their demographics, their interests, all that stuff. It doesn't breach any privacy law, so they're not going to give you the exact name of the person, but they'll just gather a collection of people and say, okay, these people generally like hockey. These people are generally males ages 18 to 24, whatever, okay? So we're going to click on continue here. Now, if you want to set up conversion tracking, you have to install events using code so that you can track conversions, sales, or signups. I cover that in a different video. I'll put the link in the description, and from the top right, there should be a little circle that's going to swoop in. Click on that if you want to know how to set up conversion tracking. For the purpose of this video, we are only setting up audiences. This is going to take us into a slightly different direction, so I don't want to spend time on that. But check out that video. It's like 11 minutes long, and it guides you through the entire process, step by step, how to set up conversion tracking thoroughly in Facebook. But we are done here, okay? So we'll close out of that. The pixel hasn't received any activity, so that's okay. It will, assuming we put it in, we added it here. So this is our page. We can refresh it. And what I'm using here is the Pixel, Facebook Pixel Helper. Okay, that's the name of the Chrome extension I'm using. And this will allow us to see if the pixel is added properly. So all I did was I installed the extension called Facebook Pixel Helper, typed that into Google. And as you can see here, this is our ID and it's showing us that we set it up. So let's just confirm that our pixel ends in 83992. We're going to go back to Facebook, 83992. Okay, so we know that it is set up correctly. Everything is fine, and this should fire. It's going to start collecting data. So now that we've set up the tag, right, the main base tag on our page, we're ready to start creating audiences. So again, we're going to head over into Business Home, Business Tools, which we could have accessed from that page. Either way is fine. And we're going to click on Audiences. And now for step 2, we have to actually create some audiences. So we can create an audience of people that saw our landing page and didn't convert. And then we can create an audience of people that converted. And we can have different ads shown to different people. We can upsell people that already signed up, for example, or that purchased in your case. Now I have a bunch of audiences here. Disregard them. You'll probably start from scratch. These are from my Facebook Ads Remarketing course, which you can find at ivanmana.com/all-courses, where I show you how to create really highly engaged audiences. So in this video, we're going to make some basic audiences to help you get started. But if you want to create highly engaged audiences like determining what percentage of the page somebody scrolled and then target those people, you can do that by checking out my course. But what we're going to do here is, again, assuming you have nothing, okay, disregard this. You're going to click on Create Audience, and we're going to click on Custom Audience. Okay, we're going to do that, and we're going to specify what exactly we want. Now, there are a bunch of different options here. Again, I go over that in detail in my course. For now, we're just going to click on Website. And what we have to do here now is, let's say we want to create the 2 separate audiences, right? One is people that signed up, and another audience, people that landed on our landing page, but they didn't sign up. So what we want to do here is select not all website visitors. So this will create an audience of everybody that landed on any page with our pixel. Instead, we want to select people who visited specific pages, okay? So we're going to say people who visited. What does our landing page contain? It contains easy battery reconditions, right? This is our landing page. So what we can do is we can copy that. Let's head back in here, and we're going to paste it. And so now we've created an audience so far of people that landed on our landing page. But the issue here is, if we just leave it like this, then we will be targeting people who also signed up, right? Because people who signed up, they also saw the landing page. So we want to exclude these people. So what we can do is we can click on exclude people, and we can say people that meet this criteria. So people that in the last 30 days visited this page, but also people that visited, we want to exclude people that visited. What is the URL of our thank you page? Let's take a look. It's thank you easy, right? So that's what the URL contains. So thank-you-easy. We'll click enter. And so now we're targeting people that saw our landing page, but they did not sign up. Okay, and this is just a basic kind of cart abandoner list. And we're just including what the URL contains. So right there, that's what our landing page contains, and our thank you page contains thank you-easy. So we've done that. We can name our audience. Let's say people who, or let's remove that. Let's say landing page visitors, and then we'll say didn't sign up. Okay, so something like that. If you want, you can make this shorter, and you can create, short codes for whatever you want, like LP visits / no, just that. LP visits / no, which for you could mean people who visited a landing page but didn't sign up. And then over here in the description, you can specify, right? You could say landing page visitors who didn't click the sign up button, for example, right? So that's up to you. Whatever makes it clear for you, that's obviously what you should use. Another thing I didn't quite mention is over here where it says 30 days, you can change this to whatever you want to. So this says how long do you want these people to stay in your list for? For example, once we get people into this list, after 30 days, the people from that list will be gone. So the list is going to be refreshed to maintain that 30-day time frame. In other words, if we get somebody sign up or we get somebody land on our landing page and not sign up, they will be added to this list, right? Let's imagine they're doing that today. Well, in 31 days, this person that we just got today will no longer be on our list. Why? Because they're not really relevant anymore. This person deemed by us, because we said the limit here is 30 days, isn't relevant enough for us. But we can change this number to whatever we want to. So if you think 30 days is too little, well, go ahead and change it to 90, for example. 90 you might think is okay, or whatever you want to. There is a limit. Yeah, so maximum is 180 days. You can't do more than that. But on the other end of the coin, 180 days might be too much, right? People might have forgotten you. If we get someone today, in half a year, they might not remember landing on this page. So remarketing to them is going to be like a whole new thing. We're not really remarketing at that point. So it's up to you to find the balance. Generally, the higher the price point for an item, the more time you can have. Because, for example, if you're selling a house or a car, well, people don't buy a house within 30 days, right? They usually spend much longer, or at least some people do, usually spend much longer finding the perfect house, the perfect car. So for those types of people, it will be remarketing if you remarket to them in half a year. They'll still remember, oh yeah, well, yeah, I'm still looking for a house, okay? So that's the idea. To keep it, I like a number anywhere between 30 and 90 days, okay? So you can test, you can see what works. The higher the number, the bigger your audience, but at the same time, the slightly less relevant it becomes. So the most relevant audience is like 1 day. That's super fresh. People just landed on your page yesterday. They probably clearly remember that, okay? But let's pick a middle ground. Let's say 60, and let's say create audience. And now we've created this audience. We have two options. We can create a lookalike, or we can create an ad. We will create an ad later on. Don't worry about that. I will briefly cover lookalike audiences, so don't worry about that. But for now, let's click done. And here's our audience that we created right here at the top. It is already ready to use, so it identified that we had the pixel on the page. Everything's good to go, and it's here. So once we actually start promoting, we can target these people. Now, you don't have to create this audience. You can create any audience you want. If you have a website like I have at ivanmana.com, you'll see a bunch of different tabs at the top. So you can target people that saw my courses page. You can target people that saw my services page. Any of those different pages you can target. You can create a combination. So if we go back here again, you can keep adding. So you can include more people. You can say people that visited this page and this page and this page and this page, right? So you can say people who visited, people who visited, people who visited. Okay, so you can target all these people. It doesn't have to be the audience that I showed you. You could also, with Facebook, target people based on time spent. So visitors on your specific page, for example, on your homepage, which you will indicate with a slash is a homepage. Well, actually, in our case, we don't have a homepage. We have a landing page, so I'm going to copy that. But if you had a homepage with nothing, like ivanmana.com, you would put a slash to indicate that it's a homepage. But we're going to do that here. And so now we're targeting people that spent the top 25% out of everybody. So if you have 20 people and some of them spent 1 second on the page, others spent 20 seconds on the page, the people that spent the most time on the page will be targeting here. Now you can target 25, 10, or 5%. So the top 5% of people, audience is going to be much smaller, but it's going to be a much more engaged audience, which is one of the audience we created in the course. But there are still some other engaged audiences you can do. But that's just an example. So what we're going to do here is let's create another list of people that signed up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to target specifically. So we're going to go back to people who visited in the past. Again, let's say 60 days. By the way, in your name, you should probably also add how many days you have so you can reference it later on, especially if you exclude certain audiences. So for example, if I create an audience of people that visited my page in the last 30, 60, and 90 days, if I want to target people that visited my page between 30 and 60 days, then I'm going to exclude people that visited my page in the last 30 days, right? So I can target only people that saw my page in the 31st to 60th day. So that's how it's going to work. So you might want to reference it and add a number to your audience. But in this case, let's suppose we also want to target people, like I said, that visited our thank you page, right? So we know these people signed up. So we're targeting specifically people that signed up. And then in this case, we can say signed up, and we could say here's 60 days, okay? We can add a description. We're going to skip it here. We'll click create audience. Once again, we're going to click done. And let's go back here really quickly. Let's change this so it says, we'll click on edit, and let's go down and let's say here 60 days, and that fits perfectly. We'll click update. Okay, so now we have that. We've created some basic audiences, which is really all we need to get started and so you get an idea of how this works. One more thing really quickly, you could also create a lookalike once you get a big enough number here. So if you click on lookalike audience, you can select your list here. So this will give you all the different pixels, but what we want to do is go to other sources and find our specific list. So landing pages didn't convert. We can select the location. So let's say United States, and that should be it. And then we can create a lookalike audience of these people. So we can click create. And now we're going to have a lookalike audience of people that saw our landing page but didn't convert. So Facebook is going to find people that are similar in characteristics to people that saw our landing page but didn't convert. So generally, you don't want to do this for people that don't convert. Generally, you want to do it for people that signed up. So for example, a better thing we could have done was created a lookalike audience of people that signed up. But I just gave this to you as an example. So what you would want to do instead is probably go into lookalike audience, find your list, people that signed up, and then we can use that. So signed up 60 days, and then you would create a lookalike here, okay? So that's generally what you want to do. We'll leave it for now, and we'll just focus on these two. But lookalike audiences of people that, for example, convert just gives you a slightly higher chance because Facebook has determined that these people are similar to people that convert. So that's how you create these audiences. Once again, if you want to learn how to create more engaged audiences, these are just simple ones. Check out my Facebook ads retargeting course at ivanmana.com/all-courses. So that being said, let's go in and let's actually create our Facebook campaign now. So we can go back to, we can click on create ad, or what I like to do is click on the business tools again and then go to ads manager. And I like to see everything. I like to see my interface and kind of see where I'm at. So we had this in draft campaign we created last time. So here we had our easy battery reconditioning campaign that we did. What we could do is click on this campaign again, and we can create a different ad group for retargeting. We can do that. For the purpose of this video, let's just create a whole new campaign, but there is no right answer as to how you can do this. So we're going to click on create, and we can give this a name. So this is, let's say, Ted's Woodworking. And then I like to say RM for remarketing. So to specify that, hey, this is the campaign devoted to remarketing audiences and all that stuff. So this is more warmer traffic. We're going to leave it here as that. Campaign objective. If you have some conversions set up, I strongly suggest going with conversions. Sometimes you can, even if you don't have conversion set up, but as long as you have the conversion pixel in place, as again, I showed you in my other video, you can select conversions. But if you're just starting out and you have no data, you don't have conversion set up at all, you can go with traffic. Okay, that's the best one. I go into all these details and all these options in my Facebook ads course, just not remarketing, just the basic Facebook ads course, where I cover everything step by step, how to create campaign. But for the time being, we're just gonna select this, and that's really all we need. You can leave these options as they are. We don't need them. Let's enter an ad name. So for the ad name, what I like to do is specify the audience targeting. So who are we targeting here? Well, in this case, let's create our first campaign for people that, let's say people that landed on our landing page but didn't convert. Okay, so we can say landing page visitors didn't convert, for example. Okay. And then for the ad name, once we get to the ad, we can name the ad because we don't know what it's going to look like yet. So let's just save this as a draft for now. And we have everything here. So we just specify, yes, we wanted traffic, campaign budget optimization. We'll leave it to off. And let's go to landing page visitors didn't convert. We're going to leave everything else as off. Again, I assume that you watched my other video where we created our Facebook ads here. So I'm going to leave that as blank. We'll set the budget to $20. And then this is where we set our audience. So we don't really have to do any sort of targeting here because we want to retarget those people specifically that saw our landing page. So we can go in here, search existing audiences, and we can find our list. So landing page visitors that didn't sign up right there, right? And then what I generally like to do is I like to copy it, go back up top. Even though we gave this a name, let's suppose we didn't. We're going to just paste it right there. Okay, and then we're going to scroll down. And we're going to leave everything blank, right? Because we want to target only these people. So we don't have to enter age or demographic. We don't have to because we know that regardless of your age, regardless of your country, regardless of your location, you visited our site. Now, the one thing you would have to do, of course, is change the location. So I would select everywhere. So what I would do is leave that. And what I would do is select world. Let's type in worldwide. And it's going to be a region, and now you'll just be targeting everywhere. So that's fine. Let's scroll down. Again, we can leave everything as is. We can leave it at automatic placement. So if you recall, I suggested that when you first create your ads, if you're tight on budget, the first thing you should do is always just select Facebook and select newsfeed. That's generally the highest converting, and that's generally what shows up as people scroll down their newsfeed. It's the one that's hardest to miss. But in this case, because we are remarketing, we're not afraid of showing our ads to people regardless of where they are, because we want to show our ads to them as often as possible to get them to convert, right? We're trying to hit that 5 to 10 time window so that they see our ads as often as possible. So we're going to click on automatic placements. We can add a maximum bid here, but we're not going to do that here. We can just leave it up to Facebook to decide. And let's go over to our ad now. So this is the last and final part, is we actually create the ad. So make sure you select the right page. So we created some pages here, I believe. This was easy battery, yeah. So recondition old batteries. We're going to select that page. We're going to scroll down. Let's add a media. So you have two ways of doing it. One is you could give them the exact same message. So for people that didn't sign up, you could give them the exact same message and kind of try to get them, try to warm them up to your product. The more they see your product, the more likely they will be to actually try it out and to sign up. Or you could try different messaging. So this was our initial landing page right here. We could try different messaging, maybe tell them something that we didn't originally, maybe start with a testimonial. Maybe they didn't read the testimonial. Maybe we can start with that. You could also create a completely different landing page and offer them something else. Say, hey, if you sign up, I'll also give you a bonus. I'll also give you something extra. So the idea here is to people that you're remarketing to your audiences, you want to talk to them in their language. So people that didn't sign up, you want to ask yourself, why didn't they sign up? What can I offer them, or what can I tell them, or what can I do to get them to sign up, okay? So what we can do here is let's just add an image. Let's start with that. So we can add one of the images that we already added. I believe it was this one that we added last time. So for example, let's suppose we want to use that. We'll click on continue. And now in our actual messaging, we want to speak to these people, right? So again, you can use a different website or you can use this one. I do use ClickMagic to track. If you've been following me for the past few videos or the past few years, you know how important tracking is. So I'm going to head over into ClickMagic, go into campaigns, go into URL builder. We're going to paste our URL here. And then for the UTM source, we're going to say Facebook. We're going to say this was which objective? Let's say this was a traffic objective campaign. And for this was easy battery campaign. We are targeting let's say no signups. So we're targeting no signups. And then for the ad, let's say testimonial. Let's say we're going to add our testimonial in our ad. Okay. If this is completely new to you, if you're looking at this saying, what's going on? I advise you to check my either ClickMagic playlist where I show you how to do it, or my other video where I show you how to promote ClickBank products on Facebook, because I show you how to set everything up in ClickMagic. It is absolutely imperative, guys, that you track. Super important. You can't let things go. I've had numerous clients that everything is set up perfectly. Their ads are smooth. Their keywords are set up or their interest groups, but they're asking me, why isn't their ROI positive? And I'm telling them, well, do you have any idea which of those, 500 keywords is converting? So they're spending a little bit on every keyword, but only 1 or 2 are actually bringing in the sales. Everything else is just wasting money. So you absolutely have to set it up so you know what works and what doesn't. So we're going to copy this link now with the UTM parameters. Again, we've set everything up in ClickMagick already, so check the video out where I show you how to add the code. But we're going to take this and we're going to add it to this URL field here. Okay, so we want to promote this website, for example, right? For example, we want to take them to the same site. And then for the headline, let's say, what are we giving people? Okay, so we can still say, again, we can say free ebook reveals. What does this reveal? Shows you 3 ways to save batteries. Free ebook reveals 3 ways to save batteries, right? 3 free ways, I believe. 3 batteries with no cost. Okay, so let's say something like that. Description is optional. It will show up right underneath the headline if there's room. So we could leave it blank for now. Or we could just say, get instant access to this free guide to learn how to save your batteries. Okay, now you can also add variations. So notice how it says add options. You can add variations and Facebook is going to split test them. So for example, if we click on add options, we can add a different headline. So instead of saying free ebook reveals, we can say learn the 3 ways to save your batteries with no cost. Or we could try a question. We could say, oops, let's remove that. We could say, do you know the 3 ways to save batteries? Okay, let's say to save dead batteries maybe, just give them a little more information. Okay, so something like that. So here we have 3 headlines, kind of like what we did with Google. If you recall our video with Google display ads, I'll put the video in the description. But there you can also do the same. You can add these variations. So all these ad networks generally have the same exact idea across the board with how they do things. And now for the primary text. Okay, so obviously, this page didn't work. Again, we can try the same exact message. We could copy our ad and just show it to them over and over again. It might work. Or we could do something else. So for example, let's suppose we're going to try with a testimonial. We're going to add that here. We could say something like, I had trouble with my batteries and spent hundreds of dollars. I had trouble with my batteries. Well, let's make it easier to read. I spent hundreds, constantly buying new ones. Okay, and trying to bring the dead ones back to life. And then we can enter that here. Thanks to the battery saver. Let's do that. It's finally able to bring batteries. I was finally able to bring batteries back to life. And finally was able to save money. Okay, so this is up to you how you want to do this. There's no right or wrong answer, but let's suppose we're experimenting with a different message, in this case a testimonial, right? And then here we'll say, let's say this was my fake testimonial, right? And then we'll say, Ivan had trouble with his batteries until he tried our solution. Stop, spending thousands of dollars and learn this simple trick, right? You all know this. I learned this simple trick that will restore dead batteries back to life for you. Click below to get started. Okay, so something like that. And then what we could do is we could add emojis. Now what I do is I'm on Windows. I'm not sure how to do it on Mac. You will have to check. I click the window sign period and I'm able to have this little window. For those of you that don't have this, I will show you where to go so you do. So we're going to select that and we're just going to Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay, so we're like pasting it several times. Maybe that's a bit too much. Let's delete something. Now, for those of you that don't have this, if you go to emojipedia.org, what you can do is find the same emoji. So, for example, this was the hand down, I think. This was thumbs down. No, here, backhand, right? Index pointing down. So that's what we're looking for here. in this case, we could add a little bit more. So I had trouble with my battery. So trouble. Let's see what comes up here. Okay, so how about that? How about sad face? So here's sad but relieved, not really, but it doesn't look relieved. Worried face maybe. So you can click on that here and then just click copy. And then what you're gonna do is come back here. Oops, what? Okay, so I accidentally hit back. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened or how that even happened. Here, yeah, somehow it clicked there instead of doing that. And so I had to just redo everything. But that's fine, we got it all down here. Some of these things might look a little bit different, but it's because I had to just redo them all as fast as possible so we can get back to the topic. So we were in the process of adding these emojis. So what you can do here, right? So suppose we added that one. Let's add a $sign, for example. All right, so this finally loaded. So we can go ahead and grab a $sign. We can click copy. I spent $1,000. For example, we can paste that here. So I did Control V on my keyboard. And you can just add these throughout, right? So you can maybe add some dollars here. And these just add a little bit more life to your boring message. As people read through the newsfeed, you want to try to gather their attention. And this is one of the ways you can do it, is by adding these pictures. So that's pretty much it. We have the URL, we have the description. Again, you can add more, right? If you click on add options. And if you don't see the add options anymore here under headline or description or the text, all you have to do is just click anywhere here and it's gonna show up and you can add more. So that is that. Let me see if we missed anything. Yeah, so the display link is what shows up over here. So that's fine. It is the bestdiet.fit. The display link has to be your, like, part of your domain. You can't have this domain and then change it to something entirely different, okay? So we have that. Let's just make sure everything is good. Yeah, battery saver. Okay, so I believe that is good. I don't think we missed anything. We can click on publish here just to see what it looks like. So we have to publish it to actually even see a preview of what it's going to look like. We can't see the preview otherwise. So wait for it to publish. We're going to pause it right away. For those of you that are worried, thinking, oh, published, I'm not ready, just pause the ad right away and it's not going to run. But we do want to preview it. So we're going to see Facebook desktop on newsfeed. So we can scroll down here and there's our ad. Okay, so I had trouble with my batteries, right? It has some little animations. And in this ad, we're trying to get attention by having something different. So a testimonial in this case. And then you can test, right? There is no right answer. You can duplicate this ad set, for example, and then test different variations. So over here, you see the headline, you see the description, and the button that says learn more. And when you click, you're going to be taken to the page. Okay, so that's how it works. Now let's go. We have to rename our ad, by the way, right? So our ad was, oh, I believe we named it testimonials. I forgot about that. Okay, and then we can test. So what you could do here is you could also split test this. So you can click here and then click duplicate, and then original campaign, or no, you can click existing campaign, that one, and number of copies. You can just click one, and then you're gonna duplicate this ad, and then you can change this up a bit. So instead of having a testimonial, you can do something else. So find something, you know, get instant access now, or just talk about something different, try to get their attention, or use the exact same ad and see how that performs. Okay, so that's how you would do that here. Change this up, change the name. You could also create different audience sets. So now that we've done this, we can go ahead and duplicate that, right? Pick existing campaign, that's the campaign, number of copies, 1, click duplicate, and it copied everything. It copied all of our ads, it copied everything. And then what we can do here is, instead of selecting this audience, for example, we can close out of that, and instead we can select people who signed up, for example, signed up 60 days, okay? And then we can take that, copy it, go back up top, remove that, and paste it here. And now what we can do is, for our ads, instead of saying, hey, sign up, here's you know, a testimonial why it's so good, for these guys, maybe you could upsell them, or you could take them to a different page for a different product, right? Because you know they already signed up. So you want to take it to the next step. You don't want to get them to sign up anymore. They've already done that. So you definitely don't want to take them to this landing page. But for this audience, you want to, for example, take them to a different offer, or take them to a landing page with a special discount, for example. Most of these offers on ClickBank, they have some sort of discount. So you can create a quick landing page saying, you know, hey, 20% off, click here. You don't have to get them to sign up, just a button that takes them to the actual offer page, okay? And that's all you need. And then you would just change the headline, change the text, change everything else. And so that's pretty much it. Let's go in and let's quickly pause this campaign. We don't want it to run. Again, I encourage you to check out my course on Facebook ads remarketing at ivanmana.com/all-courses. where I take you through this step by step and we create some really highly engaged audiences, and I show you how to create ads step by step. It's a detailed, thorough course. Also, if you haven't seen my video on how to promote ClickBank products on Facebook ads and how to promote ClickBank products on Google ads, I advise you to check those videos out as well. They will be super helpful, especially if you're just starting out and want to get an idea of how to promote these products. That being said, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.